Okay, so today we're going to talk about proportional relationships, and this goes back to finding slope on a table. So we're going to use that information that we know how to find slope on a table. So a relationship between two quantities is proportional if the ratio between the two quantities is constant, and constant means the same. The two things that will be true about a graph that is proportional is the graph will be a straight line, and the graph will pass through the origin, which is 0, 0. In a table, we want to check for equivalent ratios. In other words, in a proportional table, the ratio of y over x will always be constant, which also means the same. And remember, y over x means your rise over your run. Okay, so Hillary is looking for a gym to join. One gym offers a membership of $25 a month. Use the information to complete the following. So compare the table to show the relationship between the number of months at the gym and the total of cost of the membership. Well, it looks like the total cost of the membership is $25. So if we are not going to a gym and the membership is $25, our cost is $0 because 25 times 0 is 0. If we do join the gym and we go for 1 month, we're going to multiply 1 times 25 and our cost is going to be $25. If we decide to keep going to the gym, we go to the gym for 2 months, we would say 2 times 25 and that would give us 50. If we keep going to the gym and we're on our 3rd month, we would say 3 times 25 and that gives us $75. If we go to the gym for 4 months, we're obviously going to be paying 25 times 4, which is 100. If we don't know how many months we want to go, we're obviously going to multiply 25 to x because x represents the number of months. And y is our total cost. We don't know if we don't know how many months we're going to go, we don't know what our total cost is going to be. But if we go for 3 months, our total cost would be $75. So what is the slope or rate of change shown in the table? Well, the slope or rate of change is obviously 25. As you can see, there's a difference between $25 to $50 is 25. $50 to $75 is $25 as well. So just to make this a little bit easier to understand, your months is x, your cost is y, okay? So if we go for 4 months and we pay and we multiply that to our slope, we get a total cost of $100. So is the table proportional? Yes, the table is proportional, so the ratio of x, y is constant, which once again means the same. So we're going to use your table of values and create a graph to show the relationship. So I'm going to go ahead and graph using the table. Okay, so once again, if x is my months and cost is my y, so those are going to be my ordered pairs. So I'm going to start out at 0, 0 because x is 0, y is 0. And then my next order of pairs would be 1 and 25. So I'm going to go over here to 1 and up to 25, which is between 20 and 30. If we go 2 months, it'd be 2 and 50. So I'm going to go over here to 2 and up to 50. If I go 3 months, it would be 3 to 75, which is going to be in between 70 and 80. If I go 4 months, it's going to be $100. So when I draw my line, it should go straight through it. And it is constant. Okay? So what is the slope or rate of change shown in the graph? Well, the slope or rate of change shown in the graph is 25. And is the graph proportional? Yes, the graph is a straight line and it contains the point 0, 0, just like we said on the previous page. That you're on a graph, you'll have a straight line and then we'll go through the point 0, 0. Okay, so looking at an equation. We're going to write an equation to represent the relationship between X, the number of months of the gym, and Y, the total cost of the membership. So our equation would be Y equals 25X. Do we see the slope in the equation? If so, where? Well, yes, the slope is in front of the X. It is the coefficient. So 25 that's in front of the X is your slope. The number in front of your X, the coefficient in front of X, will always be slope. What conclusion can we make about proportional equations? In an equation, the slope will be the coefficient value in front of X. So let's take a little look at the slope-intercept equation. So you have Y equals mx plus b. Well, Y is always going to be the Y in the XY ordered pair. So if you have an ordered pair of 1 and 25, your Y would be 25. M stands for slope, and in the equation, look up in A, slope is 25. X is going to be the X in the XY ordered pairs. So if we have an ordered pair of 1 and 25, obviously 1 would be the X, plus B, and B is going to be our y-intercept, and that's basically where the line crosses the y-axis, and in this case, it is 0. So we can actually fill in here and say if we have an ordered pair of 1 and 25. So basically, you're going to go 1 month, and you're going to pay $25. Your slope is 25, and your initial value is 0. So you would say 25 times 1 plus 0 gives you 25. So 25 equals 25. Okay? If you have any questions, we can talk about that in the morning. So proportional equations will be written in the form of y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope or the rate of change, which we just talked about. So what do the x and the y represent in the equation? And we just talked about that as well, as different input and output values that would make up the ordered pairs. So just like in the table, we had months and then we had cost. Months was our x, cost was our y. So if we went 1 month, we paid $25. If we went 2 months, we paid $50. If we went 3 months, we paid $75. If we went 4 months, we paid $100. Well, how did I get that? Well, I'm basically saying my slope times the number of months. That gives me $25. Okay? So your different input and output values is your X and your Y. And that also makes up the ordered pairs. Okay, so number 1, it says, the table below shows the cost of a certain number of pounds. The table below shows the cost of a certain number of pounds of apples. So we have pounds is our X, cost is our Y. So what is the slope or rate of change? Well, the slope of rate of change is $1.38. How did I find that? Well, I found that by simply doing the process of unit rate like you did in the 7th grade, where I divided 4 into $5.52 into 4, and it came up with $1.38. Is the table proportional? How do you know? Yes, because the ratio of X over Y is constant. And write an equation for the table. It would be Y equals $1.38 X. So to look at this a little bit more in depth, how we got that, like I said, I divided 4 into $5.52. And I got $1.38. Okay. And then you can also divide $11.04 into 8, and you also get $1.38. Okay. So, use the graph to answer the questions. What is the slope or rate of change? So, how do I find the slope or rate of change? Well, I have to find 2 points on my line, and then I can do my rise over my run. Well, my slope just happens to be 4/3. And let's just check it just to see. So I'm finding 2 points on my line, and my first point is at 0, 0. My second point is at 3 and 4. So I'm going to rise up, and then I'm going to run. My Y has been counted by 2, so I've risen up 2, 4. And my X has been counted by 1s, and I have ran 1, 2, 3. So that gives me 4/3. That's how I found my slope. So is the graph proportional? How do you know? Yes, the graph is a straight line, and it contains the points 0, 0. Write an equation for the graph. Well, the graph would be y equals 4/3 x, because 4/3 is slope. Any number in front of the x is slope. Okay, so if you have any questions, just write them down on the paper, and we will review a couple of these in the morning, and we can get busy with our work. Hope you have a great night.